Today we are going to talk about the first Judicator of this game. He is a Judicator of our current Guardian champion Ignorath. The Judicator name is Flamma Bane. Yeah, I already created it, so okay. Now you can create him in two different ways. Uh, Either you can sacrifice three of your champions to create him, or you can sacrifice Ignorath and two of the champion, one of the champion to create him. And other than that, you should be knowing that this champion only works in his full potential when he is 20 star, because once he is a 20 star, this another astrolabe will be unlocked for him. As you can see, it's written Awakened Balrog. It's an exclusive astrolabe, and at the start of the battle, immediately gains toughness cap and toughness equal to 1% of his max constitution. So this is just 1%, but actually it is like 61%, and this really makes a lot of difference in his performance in the battle. The 20 star really puts him in the higher stage. Normally I have tested him at 18 star. He is pretty useless, but at 20 star he is useful. Okay, so now we have discussed how we can make him. The two ways I have said you, like either sacrificing three of your champ or sacrificing Ignorant and one champ. Now you can normally most of the players in the game, they kept the Ignorant, because Ignorant has a skill set of disrupting the opponent, so they kept him and built him newly by sacrificing three of the champions. And also there is a very unique stone for unique stone or gel for him. Its name is like gel 2, and the guardians they use gel 1. It's a yellow color one, and you need 5 of those, and then you need 5 of normal gel, guardian gel, and then you need uh, Ignorant, or if you don't use Ignorant, you need 3 champions. So this is quite expensive, normally it is twice the price of a guardian. So it's up to you, are you going to spend that much, or you just going to make one guardian? It's up to you. Now let's dive in. What are the skills he has, and we will understand his skills thoroughly, like how he's going to do. Okay, passive soul burner. When dealing damage, reduces 30% of the target's constitution cap based on their lost constitution, lasting until the end of the battle. Gain toughness cap equal to the reduced constitution cap and recover the same amount of toughness. When taking damage that reduces constitution, prioritize reducing toughness first. Overflow healing converts into toughness. Gain up to 4% of this initial constitution cap as toughness. Let's check out his skills. First, passive soul burner. When dealing damage, reduces 30% of the target's constitution cap based on their lost constitution, lasting until the end of the battle. Gain toughness cap equal to the reduced constitution cap and recover the same amount of the toughness. Okay, so to understand this first part, you need to I will give you a reference of male born, like the male born, for certain time seconds, for some seconds he blocks the constitution. He reduces the constitution cap of his opponent when he attacks. So the same thing he does, but he does in a way up in a higher level. Whereas male bonds reduces the constitution cap just for a few seconds, he does for the entire battle. Now this is a very important thing. The reduced constitution cap is what helps him to gain toughness cap. So whatever cap he has reduced of his opponent, that he will gain as a toughness cap. And this toughness cap, for example, his bar of toughness increases. Now after increasing that toughness cap, he will recover it, the same amount of toughness. So whatever the bar of toughness he had, he increased by reducing his opponent's constitution, and now his toughness has increased. Okay, now let's go to the second part. When taking damage, that reduces constitution. And now you will understand the link of his skills. First, that he is reducing his opponent constitution cap. After reducing that cap, whatever amount of, for example, x amount of constitution cap he has reduced, that he will be gaining as his toughness cap, which he will recover the bar of his toughness. Now what that is doing, that whenever he takes a damage which needed to be reduced the constitution, that is a very normal phenomena. Like when you deal a damage to any champion, their HP, which is also known as constitution, reduces. But in his case, he will not lose his constitution. Instead, he will burn off his toughness. He will prioritize reducing toughness first. So you understand why the toughness works very vital part for this champion, because the toughness helps him out a lot, not only just to increase his constitution, not just to deal more damage, not just like survive longer on the battlefield, but also to increase his attack, which you will see in the next part of his passive. So this toughness, that's why I said like this champion doesn't work for me, because my Flamma Bane is only 18 star. But if someone has maxed him out at 20 star, where he will be unlocking a very exclusive extra lab for only him, which will increase his toughness cap, that's how he performs more better, more higher at the 20 star. Okay, now let's go to the second part of his passive. Overflow healing converts into toughness. Now this champion gets more and more, this passive really gets more and more interesting. First of all, whenever a champion gets a healing, every champion has their HP bar. Once it is full, it is just full. It will stay at that. Even though you keep on healing them, it will just stay at that number. But not for him. Once his constitution is full and still he is gaining a healing from his allies, that time frame he will be gaining his toughness. Whatever the overflow of extra constitution, extra healing will be in toughness. Gains up to 400% of his initial constitution cap as toughness cap. So now whatever constitution cap he had, he is getting 400 times of that toughness, times that as a toughness cap. Okay, so now he is getting all. To you understand a simple way, whatever the constitution he had, it's now 400 times. Okay, now when gained toughness cap exceeds the initial constitution cap, increases attack by 72% and strength resistance by 57% and gains immune to control effects until the end of the battle. Okay, so now you have seen that he will be, it is for sure that he will be gaining 400%, 400 times of the constitution as a toughness. So eventually the second part will automatically start, because what it is said, whenever his toughness is more than his constitution, which will be because he is gaining 400 times of that, his attack increases whooping number of 72%. That's a very big number. 72% of attack he is gaining just because his toughness cap is higher than his constitution cap. Plus he is gaining strength resistance by 57%, and it doesn't stop there, and he gains immunity to control effects until the end of the battle. So this is not just for like few 10 seconds. There is no CD over here, there is no cooldown, there is nothing like the other champions have. It is just whatever he is doing, it will stay till the end of the battle. He is reducing his opponent's cap, it will stay until the end of the battle. And I have seen this even though he is died in the battle. For example, he comes, he deals the damage, he reduces the cap of his opponent, and he is dead, still that cap remains, it is not removed. That cap, that opponent's constitution has been reduced permanently. So that's how strong his passive is. I not just that, I am really like impressed or surprised or intrigued seeing the amount of attack he increases, like straight away 72%. There is not like 5% or 10% or like interval time kind of increase. It's straight away 72%. Boom. But this is at 20 star. I think so it will be less on the 18 star, 16 star, but this is at 20 star. He will be 22% attack increase he will be getting. Okay, so I think you guys have would have understand his passive. I break it down the easier way, the way I can. So it has a 4 part. The first part is he does the damage, he reduces the constitution cap of his opponent. That reduce of the constitution cap helps him to gain increase his toughness cap, which he recovers. Then after that, whenever he is taking the damage, he is not losing his constitution, he is prioritizing his toughness instead of constitution to lose. Then whatever he gets a healing, he will be not just healing but also increasing his toughness. The like increasing in a sense, he will be converting it into toughness, and then he will be getting 400 times of his constitution cap as a toughness. And whatever, and the last part is like it is written very complex, that if he gains, if what it will be, he will be gaining the higher toughness cap than the constitution, because it's a 400 times. It's like it's like it's a simple number. He will be getting the higher, so eventually he will be getting 72% of his attack increase and 57% of his strength resistance plus immunity to control effects, and this is for the entire battle. Okay, let's go to the actor. And this is very strong passive. The way I read it out, the way I understand it, it's very strong, but it doesn't works in this very good way at my level of star, like 18 star. It's not working that way. He dies very soon. At 20 star maybe he will work. Active. Flame access strike. Wait a second. Flame access strike. So you can understand just by the name, like it's a flamey access and he's going to strike that. Okay, let's read the skill. Throws dual access at the enemy target with the highest accumulated damage, dealing 965% of strength damage twice and applying a stunned effect. Each hit includes additional damage to reduce the max toughness, then increase the crit rate by 16 seconds. Okay, so it's a very simple active but very strong active. Now what he's doing, he's throwing the dual axis at the enemy target with the highest accumulated damage. Now this is really a very good thing. Why I say so? Because normally what happens, the champions target opponent champion who has the higher STR like strength, or who has a higher constitution, or who has the less constitution on the battle. But he is doing, I think so, the same thing is there in the female node. Yeah, female node has it in the ultimate. She also does the damage to the highest accumulated damage dealer on the battlefield. Same thing he is doing, and he is doing the damage. He is throwing the axe to the champion of your opponent, who is the highest damage dealer of your opponent team, and that damage is 965% of strength, his strength, twice. Now 965% of, so with the simple number I will be saying it's like 1930% of his strength he does as a damage, plus he is applying a stun. And okay, now the second part, each hit includes additional damage equal to 20% of his max constitution. So now you can understand he did attack twice. So I accumulated it, I combined it total, and I said 1930% of that damage of his strength damage. And because of his second part, he will be doing 40% of his max constitution, because it's on per hit. So he is doing 2 hits, and as per his second part, per hit he gets 20% of his max toughness. So he will be doing 40% of his max toughness. So the numbers are 1930% of his strength damage plus stun plus 40% of his max constitution. That's a very big number. Then increases crit rate by 69% for 10 seconds. That's a very good thing. So now he will be doing, not just he is doing that much damage, not only he is just targeting the most accumulated damage champ of his opponent, but also he is increasing his crit rate for 10 seconds. Let's check the ultimate. Charged Flame Blast gains a shield equal to the 30% of max constitution plus 100% toughness cap. So he is gaining a toughness cap again 100%. Already you have seen he already got 400% of toughness cap from his passive. Now his ultimate is giving him 100% of toughness cap, and with 30% of his max constitution shield, and enters a charge state for up to 5 seconds. So for the 5 seconds he is in the charge state. During the charge, recovers 6% of max constitution per second and gain 1 stack of impact. Okay, so he is gaining a 30% of his max constitution shield, then his toughness cap is increasing by 100%, and he is in the state of charge state of 5 seconds. During the charge, so for the 5 seconds he is recovering 6% of his max constitution per second. So for the exact number, like the straight away number is, he will be gaining 30% of he will be recovering 30% of his max constitution while in the charge, 30%, and gain 1 stack of impact. 1 stack of impact. If the shield is broken, the charge ends early. Upon completion, gains brief invincibility and consumes impact to deal 1137 strength damage to all the enemies in the cone shaped area in front with additional damage equal to the 10% of the strength cap. Okay, so mm you can see the whole thing is just the one thing in the part that he is gaining a shield of 30% of his max constitution, and which is giving him the toughness cap, and then he is in a state where he is recovering his constitution, which is like 30%. He will be recovering in 5 seconds. And now what happened, but there is one catch in this, that his shield can be broken, so he don't have a control immunity, or he don't have immunity over here while using his ultimate, while he is charging up. If opponent attacks or he can interrupt him, he can break his shield and the charge will end. So that charge will end. But if it is not interrupted, if this charge is not if the charge completes for the 5 seconds, so upon completion gains a brief invincibility. So when his charge is complete in 5 seconds, he will be getting invincibility. And then, and you have seen like he is recovering constitution per second plus gaining 1 stack. So when he is only gaining that impact if he is not interrupted for 5 seconds, and if he is interrupted, it's gone. But if he is not interrupted for 5 seconds, that will give him invincibility, and the impact will cause 1137% of strength damage to all the enemies in the cone shaped area in front. So he is doing damage to the in a cone shape of 1137% of his strength, plus he will be doing 10% of damage of his toughness cap. For each stack of impact consumed, deal additional damage For each stack of impact consumed, deal additional damage and gain 1 stack of 30% bonus critical damage boost lasting 20 seconds. Okay, so his skills gets more and more like exciting or like interesting. So this was the first part was he is doing that much of damage once his charge and everything, and the second part says for each stack of impact consumed deals additional damage and gain 1 stack of 30% bonus critical damage boost. So his critical damage boost, so do you remember his active? In the active his critical rate is increasing, and his ultimate his critical damage is increasing, and that increase is for 20 seconds. So he is getting 30% of critical damage increase for 20 seconds. If more than 3 stack of impact are consumed, the ultimate skill ignores the target shield. Okay, so this part is also the interesting one, that if more than 3 stack of his impact are consumed, the ultimate skill ignores the target shield. This skill cannot be interrupted under any circumstances. Okay, so the second part is of his ultimate can't be interrupted once he has more than 3 stack of impact consumed, but the first one when he is charging up it can be interrupted. This is very interesting. You can see like he will ignore the target shield, so he can just kill the opponent even with the full shield. That's very good. Reading it more and more, like I wonder like why my champion is not working. The skills he has is like a godlike skills, like very good. He is gaining his cap, he's increasing his toughness, the toughness cap keeps on increasing, and then he's dealing with that, and his critical rate is increasing. Now his critical damage is increasing, Then he is now he has the skill which can ignore the target's shield, and that's a lot. Okay, now let's check his guardian. Lava slash summons a lava giant axe, dealing 1050% strength damage to nearby enemies and applying a 10-second ignited effect. Every 2 seconds, dealing 210% of strength damage with additional damage equal to 10% of his toughness cap. Then strikes the lava axe at the further enemy, dealing 2537% stun damage to the enemy in the rectangular area and applying a 5-second stun effect. Leave a mortar rift on the battlefield up to 3 at a time, which erupts every 5 seconds. Dealing 274 stun damage to the enemies above the rift with additional damage equal to 20% of his toughness cap. Oof, man, so much thing is happening with his skills. So much is happening. Okay. Now he will be summoning a lava giant axe, which will deal 1050% of strength damage to the nearby enemies, and he will be applying a 10-second ignited effect. After attacking, he will be gaining a 10-second of ignited effect. Every 2 seconds, deal 250% of strength damage with additional damage of 10% of his toughness cap. So now you can see that ignited effect is for 10 seconds. So for 2 seconds he is doing the 200 tons. So for 10 seconds he will be doing, but I don't know, like he is doing every 2 seconds he doing continuously, or he does 2 or 3 times. I have to check this out properly, but just as it is written, I will say like every 2 seconds he is dealing, plus he is doing extra 10% of toughness cap damage, then strikes the lava axe at the furthest enemy, dealing 2537% strength damage to the enemy in a rectangle area. So he is now dealing that much of strength damage. That much is like 25-37% of strength damage to the enemy in the rectangle area and applying a 5-second stun effect, and he is stunning them for 5 seconds. Like, oh, that's a lot. Normally it is like 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. 5 seconds, like that's a very big time. Like 5 seconds is very longer time. Oh wow. And then leaves molten rift on the battlefield up to 3 at a time, and then he's leaving a molten rift on the battlefield. It's like lava land, which erupts every 5 seconds, dealing 274 strength damage to enemies above the rift with the additional damage of 20% of his cap. Now above the rift he is doing 274% of strength damage, and then also he is doing additional damage of 20% of his toughness. That's a lot of damage. I do not understand like how much damage he is really doing. Seriously, this number is like too much. Maybe he is bugged because his skills doesn't work this way. The way it is written, and I have tried to understand every single line of these skills. He should be really a one-man army on the battlefield the way his skills are, but when I'm using 18 star, he doesn't do anything like what is written over here. He just dies very easily. Okay, now let's read the resolve collection. Resolve collection is he gains 300%. Oh, sorry. He gains 300 resolve for each instance of. he gains 300 resolve for each instance of damage dealt during battle. When only one champion remains on the battlefield, this effect increases by 50%. Okay, so he gains 300 resolve. It is very simple. No need for the explaining. Like 300 of resolve he gets for every time the damage is dealt. For each damage he deals on the battle. When only one enemy is left, this effect increases 50% more. And then this Judicator skill cannot be interrupted under any circumstances, and resolve cannot be gained for 10 seconds after activation. So the CD for his guardian skill is 10 seconds. Wow, that was a very long skills, and like I hope you guys would have understood his skills properly, or maybe I have over explained, but okay, I was just like went in the flow of like skills. I was like just like understanding what is really doing like on the battle. Like it was intense. I don't understand like why my the one which I have at 18 star doesn't do that. What is written over here? Okay, let's check his trait. His by default traits are shearing armor, fortitude increasing by 23% for 4 seconds when taking active or ultimate skills, stacks up to 3 layers. So see now, if all the 3 layers are up, he will be getting 69% of fortitude increase. This fortitude is toughness. So again, it is very useful for him. Toughness would not be useful for other champs, but for the tanks is useful, and for him is really for him especially is very useful, because everywhere he has toughness cap. Every single skill he has, there is a toughness cap mentioned. Second is plume dance. Okay. Yeah, I understand why this skill can be useful. This trait can be useful for him, because champions use their active in 4 to 5 seconds when they enter in the battlefield, and his active increases crit rate to 69%, and then plume will be increasing his crit damage for 130%. So for for the span of 9 to 10 seconds, he will be dealing a lot of very heavy critical damage. So these 2 skills he has. Rest what I'm using on my Flamma Bane is energetic, loyal, for toughness, and brutal. You guys can try aggressive too, but to keep him alive, I tried to give him toughness. I tried to give him energetic and toughness only for his toughness cap, which is always which is essential in every single skills he have. That's why I'm using loyal. But you can also use barrier or steadfast to keep him alive. It's up to you. But the 3 I am using is loyal, energetic, and brutal. You can use brutal, barrier, energetic, or brutal, aggressive, energetic. Okay. So these were his skills. This part is also like this is the I think so this is the most vital thing for him to work the way it was written. While testing him around the new this Lexus trial boss, The problem with him is like he will just stop the ultimate. So, but still we will do. We will check the possible potential of his damage. Like say this war god roar at the 20 seconds of battle begins. So this is like a 20 second. He will stop the ultimate, but just to like take an understanding of his PvE potential. I'm just testing it out, but he can do very good damage in PvE. If it is less in this boss, it is because of not using ult. And let's check his damage. So I'm using the Ure, Flamma Bane, Athron, Melsion, and Tree, aka El Rosal. You can see like when he's fighting on above his health, you can see a purple bar with little blue bar. So it's like a mix of blue and purple. Yeah, that's his toughness. That is what changes his performance so much. This improves more when he's on 20 star and his astrolabe is unlocked, the another one, and that gives him increase in the toughness cap. That's when he starts working very good. But until now he is on 18 star. He is useless for me. In PvP he does nothing for me. Well, anyways, this boss was not a very good example for his PvE testings, but currently I have only this boss, so let's see. Okay, so the battle is done. 526 billion. So bad, so bad. Okay, 184. He did more than the Ure and then Adrosal, even Melson. Okay, so the two ways to build the Ignara 2.0 or the first Judicator of BLD is either you use Ignorath and one of your champion, or you can use three of the champion with the yellow stone, this blue stone, then 8 of your compass and 35 billion coins. This coin depends on the star level. If it is lower star you are using for creating him, it will be less. And in the first way it's just 5 of these yellow stones. So if you are saving your Ignorath, you would be paying extra like 5 stones, and yeah, extra 5 stones. The rest everything is same. And also the compass. I have sacrificed my Ignorath because for me he was not performing that well. He was just a throw-in champion in my third team, so I sacrificed him in the hopes of getting this first Judicator and doing something good. But alas, the problem here is um, this champion needs to be 20 star, which is I think so very expensive for most of the players to bring any guardian to 20 star. It's not a very easy feat. I think so they should increase, they should have reduced it like 18 or 19 star, but 20 star is too much. That's what I feel. And I don't think so that he will be useful for me anymore until I do him 20 stars. So I'm not even using him in my three teams right now. He has such a good potential, such a good thing. Everything is good. But the only problem is it is heavily paywalled. So like if you want to use him, you have to spend money, and then you can use him. That's not that I like a lot about it. Yeah. And the conclusion, what I understand and believe, I have said so much about this clan already in the skills and other places. But yeah, if he is 20 star, he is really one of the meta. He works so good. Like at 20 star, he can be on the par of Frosty, Faith. On that level, he can do performance when he's 20 star, but when he's below, he will do nothing. And if you are free to play players, I will say skip him because he is too expensive to build and not performing that well in the lower stars. I will rather recommend you to build some other guardians which can work whenever, even if they are on 16, 17, 18 stars, they work fine. So I will recommend that. Rest I have requested, like many of you requested to the devs in the game, like to reduce the 20 star to 18. We'll see if something happens. I will post the update regarding it the same. Thanks for watching and do stay connected to check out more videos in future. Thank you.